Hello, this is Mr. Molo for Variables and Expressions, Lesson 1-1. So you'll kind of see this is what the videos look like on Schoology. It looks like exactly like the lesson that we're going to be doing in class. So if you ever forget how to do something at home, you can always go and look at the video online. So you'll see right when you walk in on Thursday, I'm going to ask you to do some props on the board, and we'll go over that on Thursday. I won't cover some of that in the video. And this pretty much goes right down the line with all of the stuff we're doing in class. So we're doing variables and expressions today. We have some vocabulary and some review problems to go over. So we'll go over those in class. I won't talk about those on the video. And we have two major objectives today. So to translate between words in algebra and to evaluate algebraic expressions. So the vocab for today, so a variable. So a variable is a letter or symbol used to represent a value that can change. So X, Y, Z, A, B, C, it doesn't matter what letter you choose. It all means the same thing. Evaluate is just another word for solve, so to find the value of that expression. So an algebraic expression is an expression that may contain variables, constant, or operations. So we just talked about what variables were. Constants are your numbers, so any number that you can think of. And operations means add, subtract, multiply, divide. So an algebraic expression is something that has a variable, a number, and then an operation. So something like 2 plus x equals 4. That would be an algebraic expression. A numerical expression is an expression that contains only constants and operations. So you'll see that it's missing the variables. So this is probably what, first, second, third graders do. Something along the lines of 2 plus 4. So it doesn't have a variable in there, but still has a constant and still has an operation. So when we're writing these, we're going to need to know some words to see what the book is talking about. So if it's an addition problem, you might see some words like plus, sum, or increase by. If it's a subtraction problem, you might see some words like minus, difference, or less than. If it's a multiplication problem, you might see the words times, product, or equal groups of. Or if it's a division problem, you might see the words divided by or quotient. So if we're going to, what are some ways that we can express 3 times n? So if I wanted to write that, I can write 3n. I can write 3 times n. Those both mean the same thing. I can write n times 3. My pen lets me write it. N times 3. So all these could be different ways that we can represent 3 times n. So in the book, they'll give you examples like that, and you'll just fill them out. And then some different ways we can write this. So we see it says 4 minus n. You can literally write 4 minus n. Two ways that the book says it is 4 decreased by n, or n less than 4. This says t divided by 5. Again, you could write just t divided by 5. And there you go. The book even gave it as one of their examples. Or you could say the quotient of t and 5. This says 9 plus q. Again, you could write just 9 plus q. The book gives the example of the sum of 9 and q. Or q added to 9. This says 3 times h. There it is. Books even give that example of 3 times h. Or they also gave the example of the product of 3 and h. Some other kind of examples. So John types 62 words per minute, or an expression for the number of words he can type in m minutes. So then for this, we wanted to figure out, let's say I wanted to figure out how many words he can type in 4 minutes. I want a expression that I can figure that out in a couple of seconds. So I know I need the 62 to be in there somewhere. Oops. Let's get rid of that. So I know I need the 62 to be in there somewhere. So there's my 62. And I don't know how many minutes that the problem's going to want me to solve for, so I'm just going to leave it as 62m. Because now if the book wants me to solve for 4 minutes, I can type in a 4 there. If it wants me to solve for 10 minutes, I can put in a 10 there. So no matter what, I can just put in whatever number I want for that m variable, and I can solve for it. Here's some other examples here. Let's look at this one. So this will be the last one we look at for this lesson. So if it wants me to evaluate for each expression. So I have b minus c. And right up here it tells me that b is 7 and c is 2. So really it's just doing 7 minus 2, which is 5. This one says AC. So remember, when two variables, two numbers are next to each other, that means multiplication. So this means A times C. So A, it shows me up here, is 4, and C is 2. So 2 times 4 will give me 8. Alright, and this will be a 2-day lesson like most of our lessons. So you will see something along the same lines like this tomorrow.